West Coast swing continues for the Cardinals tonight at Petco Park in San Diego. The Padres and the Cardinals have split the first two games of the series, and the Cardinals in first place in the Central Division. Thursday night, unlikely source with a grand slam. And that's shortstop Brendan Ryan, his second home run of the year, first ever career grand slam. Last night, Nick Hundley against Kyle Loesch. He would take him deep, a 3-run homer, and that was the difference in Game 2. Welcome to Game 3. I'm Dan McLaughlin. That's Al Raboski. And the Cardinals have their ace going tonight, and that's Chris Carpenter.
All you have to know is Carpenter has the best winning percentage in Cardinal history, and he's got an 8-game winning streak. You see his career numbers. Correa on the other side, a San Diego native. First year with San Diego Padres, a power arm, doesn't throw as hard as he used to, but he still can be a handful if he got his stuff right, and that's a sinker and a slider.
And we're looking forward to this one. It's Game 3 of this 4-game series from beautiful San Diego, California. Our first pitch is next on Fox Sports Midwest. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste, it never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By Auto Tire, for the lowest prices in town, we shop the competitors so you don't have to. By Chevy, see your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. And by the state of Missouri Tobacco Quit Line. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Fans still filing into Petco Park, and a gorgeous night for baseball here in San Diego, California. Chris Carpenter getting the start. Here's a lineup that he will have tonight, as Skip Schumacher will lead it off, followed by Brendan Ryan and Albert Pujols, then Matt Holliday, Ryan Ludwig, Colby Rasmus, Mark DeRosa, Yadier Molina, and the pitcher Chris Carpenter hitting 140, coming off a good start against the Dodgers. Kevin Correa, a right-hander, getting the start for the San Diego Padres, and his numbers brought to you by Marshall Wireless. For a team that's 20 games below 500, he's only one below the 500 mark.
That's right. He's pitched very well here at home. He is a San Diego native. He was selected by the Cardinals back in 2001 in the first-year player draft in the 23rd round. Did not sign. Signed with the Giants, got to the big leagues, and really had a big-time power arm.
Now, he possesses a pretty good fastball, throws a curveball, a slider, a changeup. I say he's been incorporating a cutter lately, and also very few times he will do this, but to lefties he'll throw a split finger fastball. So he's got a wide arrangement of pitches out there that he can go with.
He used to throw about 95 miles an hour, but really had no command of his fastball. But if you talk to Mike Matheny, who caught him in with the Giants, he absolutely loved this guy. And he signed as a 6-year minor league free agent, and the Padres, he's a hometown kid, they picked him up, and their pitching coach, Darren Balsley, has really turned him around mechanically.
One of the things I want you to look for tonight, Al, being a former pitcher, watch and see if he's falling off towards first base. They're trying to get him to finish more towards home plate. They felt that he really has been falling off towards first base, and then his pitches kind of flatten out in doing so.
Yeah, what happened was his plant leg, he would really kind of land on the side of it, and that would force him to fall to first base. So they've kind of got him squaring away more in the ball of the foot, and that will keep him going directly towards home plate and give him a better pitching angle.
Schumacher on the year is right around 300, and moving to second base has not affected his offense one bit. 4 home runs, 31 RBIs, a very solid year here for Skip. 2-2 pitch. And he chased the ball up and away, and the first out is recorded with the strikeout from Correa. Let's look at the Padres defense with Blanks, Gwynn, and Venable, who had a couple of doubles last night in right. Headley, Cabrera, Eckstein, Adrian Gonzalez along the infield. Correa and Henry Blanco is behind the plate. The Padres defense brought to you by Auto Tire. David Eckstein before the game tonight getting a 1-year contract extension to stay here in San Diego.
That's good news. He's deserved it with that fielding percentage.
And they really like, with a young group of players that they have coming up, they think that David Eckstein is the perfect guy to help show them the right way to do things.
Yeah, great leader. And we talked about this a lot, like Pittsburgh, some of these clubs that, okay, you can get rid of a lot of your veteran players, but you have to have somebody that has a little bit of experience on the field, a little age and maturity to guide and lead those players. And David's a perfect example.
He's probably not making a ton of money either. He's right around $1 million this year, and I'm sure he wasn't asking to break the bank to play second base here next year.
I'm sure. Cardinal bats have really been slowed down on this road trip, but they have won 3 out of 5.
There's a base hit on a hanging breaking ball that time by Brendan Ryan. When I say $1 million isn't a lot of money, I mean in baseball terms. For everybody else, that's a lot of money.
Well, the average player is making about $3 million, $1 million, and there you see the hanging breaking ball. That's only the 11th hit for the Cardinals in this the first 3 games of this series. They had 5 the first night, but thanks to Brendan Ryan's grand slam, and then 5 last night in the shutout.
And really, with the road trip, the way things have gone, the Cardinals took 2 of 3 against the Dodgers, and they split the first 2 in this series. Altogether, they really haven't hit all that well.
Yeah, combined average of 177.
Right.
And a lot of it, Albert will take a lot of that blame, but he's no one to shy away from it. But the middle of the order has struggled when you look at the next 3 hitters.
If the Cardinals can win tonight, they would be 8 games in front of Chicago. Cubs lose today to the Dodgers. Dodgers now at 74-50. The Cubs drop to 61-60. So the Cardinals, as we speak, a 7.5 game lead. 2 balls and no strikes here on Albert Pujols.
And with Carpenter on the mound and a chance to pick up a game, this is a time where Tony will tell everybody, you really got to push for this one.
One for 13 the last 4 games for Albert Pujols with 3 strikeouts. 0.77 average. And here comes a 2-1 pitch to Pujols with Brendan Ryan at first. In there for a strike at 92 miles an hour. Seen him take more pitches lately, haven't we? And talking about Albert.
Yeah, and it's kind of odd to see that when you talk about the amount of pitches he's taken. 1 or so is okay, but when you're taking numerous pitches, I wonder if he's just not seeing the ball well. And we've seen him swinging a lot of pitches where he's out in front.
Count is full here. Take me in the mind of Correa here. You've got a 3-2 count on Pujols, runner at first. What's your pitch of choice in this particular situation?
In my mind, he throws the sinker and just make sure it's down. If it's down on a plane, he's got the sinking action. If he gets it up a little bit, it slides.
There goes Brendan. And the pitch is taken for a ball, so Pujols is aboard, and a chance now for Matt Holliday.
Like he threw the fastball, the sinker, and doesn't keep it in the strike zone.
Matt Holliday, a 3-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger Award winner, runner-up for the MVP back in 2007. And that year he was the NLCS MVP, and he was drafted by the Rockies in the 7th round back in 1998. So runners at first and second for Holliday, who's hitting .402 with the Cardinals. Hits it into deep center. When he's back, he'll look up, and it's gone. Cardinals lead it 3-0 on a Matt Holliday home run. Holliday, home run number 6 with the Cardinals. RBIs 24, 25, and 26. 3-0 St. Louis.
Oh, Weaver's best friend, the 3-run home run. And here with 1 out, the Cardinals get on the scoreboard before Chris Carpenter, their ace, even takes them out. Look at Correa's reaction as Blanco sets it inside, and that ball just down over the middle of the plate and just crushed over the center field wall.
What's interesting about that is that in visiting with some of the Cardinals during BP today, they said that Matt Holliday was trying to take the ball back up the middle, and he was hitting it consistently right in that spot where he hit it over the wall today.
I talked to him a little bit tonight, and he was talking about, well, I haven't had real good swings on this trip. And I said, well, it's kind of tough to continue at the pace you were hitting. It's a long season, and you kind of acknowledge it, but that's what, you work on something in batting practice, and it pays off.
So 0-2 now on Ludwig, 3-0 Cardinals here in the first. near base running mistake made by the Cardinals on home run by Matt Holliday. I peeked up to see where they were, and Pujols almost passed Brendan Ryan. Be careful.
Well, you can see Albert has a better angle. He can kind of see how hard that ball's carrying, where Brendan Ryan's going to tag up in case it's caught and advance to third. But when Albert got around the bag, he kind of knew where they were, and after last night, I'm sure they both know where each other are.
We figured out what happened last night as Pujols was running and Brendan Ryan was not. 2-2 is chopped to short. Glove there by the young shortstop Everett Cabrera. 2 outs. Brendan Ryan the single, walk to Pujols, 3-run homer by Holliday. And that was an odd base running play yesterday.
Oh, you got runners at first and second, and maybe you have the steal, but it's always, in my mind, it's always that if the lead runner does not get a good jump, he doesn't run into an out, and the trailing runner has to be aware of what's happening with a man in front of him. He can't run himself into an out. So it's a very difficult play for the trail runner, the runner at first base, and Albert just did not look. He saw the initial break by Brendan Ryan and assumed he was going to third, and he pulled up.
Colby Rasmus flies it into left center. Gwynn with his good speed makes the catch. Carpenter, the ace of the staff, takes to the mound with a 3-run lead when we come back to San Diego. Matt Holliday is 6 home run with the Cardinals, 3-0 St. Louis. Chris Carpenter on the mound for the Cardinals. This is the lineup that he will face tonight for the Padres. Tony Gwynn, David Eckstein, Adrian Gonzalez, Chase Headley, Will Venable, Kyle Blanks, Henry Blanco, Everett Cabrera, the shortstop, and Kevin Correa. So here is Chris Carpenter, and this will be his 21st start of the season. Already a couple of complete games, 13-3. Terrific ERA, and opponents only hitting .227 against him. First pitch to Tony Gwynn, taken high, and something that we've seen with Carpenter here in the last 2 to 3 starts, his velocity has actually been a little bit better.
Maybe that time he spent on the disabled list kind of.
And a ground ball hit to second. I was about to ask you, as we'll take a look at this defense of the Cardinals, if in a way, as crazy as it sounds, would be a blessing in disguise to where that wear and tear isn't quite all the way there, as he missed nearly 40 days this year of the regular season as he dealt with that oblique. And Carpenter, Molina, the battery tonight. Defense brought to you by Auto Tire.
I don't think it's crazy at all, because that's the direction I was going. That sometimes you look at positives, and with that time off and really the cooler weather, not severe heat, that you're a little sharper, you're fresher, and his velocity is actually not only maintained, but it's increased.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to his former teammate David Eckstein, and Carpenter's got it. Underhands to Pujols, and there's 2 away. So Carpenter lately has just been terrific. He's won his last 5 starts. August, 33 strikeouts, only 2 walks, 3+ earned twice. That's it. And at least 7 innings in his last 7 starts. I mean, any way you want to look at it, he has just been remarkable. He's our key to the game. Toyota brings us that, and let's face it now, Matt Holliday's great, and DeRosa and Lugo and John Smoltz tomorrow, but a lot of this season hinges on the shoulders of Chris Carpenter being healthy this year.
Well, he is the ace, and with that comes a lot of responsibility. Other guys feed off of him. John Smoltz, I think it's in fairness to John that we don't expect the Cy Young quality tomorrow, and you've got to give him a little time before you're going to see the future Hall of Famer. But Carpenter is a guy that just everybody can just feed off of him. You learn from example. He's got the best ERA in the major leagues. He's won 8 straight decisions. He's obsessed with perfection, and he is an extremely hard worker that wants to share his knowledge.
2 balls and a strike here on Adrian Gonzalez, their first baseman. He has 33 home runs. The pitch is taken down and in.
Just love the way that Carpenter gets on that mound. These hitters are falling into the trap of just letting him set the tempo.
And you watch him between innings when he goes to the mound to warm up. It takes him all of about 35, 40 seconds, literally. Just gets the ball, a few tosses, and he's ready to go.
Getting a little upset, waiting for Gonzalez, but at least their best hitters trying to disrupt that tempo.
And a rare walk here by Carpenter, so a 2-out walk to Gonzalez. I mentioned this last night, and I'm sure he's not trying to walk him, but he's not trying to give in either. He's got a 3-run lead. It is the first inning, but outside of Gonzalez, there's not a lot that stands out in this lineup. No disrespect to the Padres.
Well, so many of these Padres have never faced Carpenter, and that advantage, in my mind, always works to the pitcher. He knows what he wants to do. He's going to go his strength against your strength, and more times than not, the pitcher will win out.
Here's Headley, and he's a switch hitter, hitting .256, 9 home runs. He's driven in 46, the third baseman of the Padres.
Young Padre hitters, go up there very aggressive, but that works in Carpenter's favor, especially in the first inning, because like a lot of pitchers, he's still trying to find his release point. You've gone from the practice mound to the mound on the real diamond. In theory, they're supposed to have the same slope, but rarely is it the same.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Headley. One of the real key plays I think that's been overlooked this road trip was when Carpenter was on the mound and the Dodgers in that first inning had things rolling, and all of a sudden it was a double play. Now they did score a run, but it was the throw by Ludwig into third, and after that first inning, Carpenter really settled in.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Your real good pitchers, especially the guys that pitch deep into a ball game, they always have something reserved. So early in the game is when you can get to them.
Strikeout of Headley. DeRosa leads it off when we come back. 3-0 St. Louis. Cardinal fans will not want to miss this opportunity to add pitcher Adam Wainwright to their bobblehead collection. 25,000 fans receive an action pose bobblehead of Wainwright, and tickets are still available. That'll be Sunday, August 30th. Sunday, August 30th. Tickets still available. Adam Wainwright bobblehead day presented by Train. You can visit stlcardinals.com for tickets, and that's also a family Sunday, and you can purchase a terrace or pavilion reserved seat on a family Sunday and get a free hot dog and soda. Pretty good deal. You get to the ballpark early. You have the ice cream sundae. It's a family Sunday, so you get some free food, and you also get the Wainwright bobblehead.
I just can't believe that there'd be tickets left for the Wainwright bobblehead.
I'm a little surprised myself. 1-1 pitch, and DeRosa fouls it back.
I bet there won't be by the time we get home.
Well, the Houston series, and you were talking about this the other day, the $4 outfield loge box seats. $4 after the Cardinals had the great homestand last week.
5 victories, right?
Right. So with every win, it was money off on those tickets. They sold those out in 40 minutes. So we're going to have big crowds coming up against Houston. And then next weekend with Washington in town, you've got the Wainwright bobblehead. There's also photo night on Saturday, which is always popular. And that Friday night is one of the rare Friday night that is a half price night. So you get 50% off your ticket. So the Cardinals have really tried to make it an affordable buy if you come out to the ballpark this year. And again, stlcardinals.com. Base hit by DeRosa. So a leadoff hit, and that curveball's been hanging a little bit, hasn't it?
Many times when you talk about Correa's stuff, you talk about the curveball as being, his secondary breaking ball. You're always talking about a slider. You talked about the cutter, but rarely do they talk about the curveball. So maybe he's trying to incorporate it more, and it hasn't been working.
I saw him duck on that. It made me think of Kuroda, the Dodgers, who was hit on the head, the zygomatic bone, and when that happened, a bruise developed and had to miss his start against the Cardinals, which would have been on Thursday night.
I was reading an article about that, and that esteemed neurosurgeon, Dr. Cameron Smith, with that diagnosis, and it was very interesting.
It's scary too.
Yeah,
very scary. That bone is something you don't want to mess with a line drive that comes back and hits you in that area. And a liner and a double play. Tough running play there for DeRosa's. Molina hit it right on the button to David Eckstein.
Tough running play, but it's a play that you have to be under control and not get doubled up. First thing that Dave McCabe will say is, don't get doubled off on a line drive, and that's what he did.
And here's Carpenter. I mentioned before that X9 has signed a year extension with the Padres right before the ball game tonight. He is beloved in Southern California too. Folks remember his time with the Angels and being a World Series winner. Came to St. Louis. He was loved in St. Louis, and now they really like him here in San Diego.
Quite the author.
Yeah, he's got the book Have Heart. And his wife, of course, an actress working here in California. Carpenter is hitting .140 with no home runs and 1 RBI.
It's at the cage today, and Hal McRae was very impressed and telling Chris Carpenter with the way he used his hands in batting practice. And I said, well, I hope he uses his hands on the pitching mound.
What impressed him about his hands and BP?
I don't know. I walked up right when he was sitting there, but he was really all excited.
Swinging bunt, and the catcher pounces on it to make the play. That's Henry Blanco. Midway through 2, and it's 3-0 Cardinals. It's still finally into Petco Park, and a lot of Cardinal fans here tonight, and that's good to see. Aflac trivia question: who is the Padres' all-time wins leader among pitchers? You know, their all-time saves leader, Trevor Hoffman, their wins leader. Does that surprise you at all there?
Eric Schau.
Yeah.
It is.
Remember, Andy Ashby gave up the home run to Albert Pujols, number 500.
Same guy or different exercise?
That's 3 days in a row, the same guy. Just got off the Stairmaster.
After 2 days.
And Andy Ashby was here tonight.
And a very big alumni meeting, and really was very nice because they had the guys from the Alumni Association. It was the local branch, but they had people from Major League Baseball alumni. They also had Jim Martin from BAT, baseball's assistance team, in to talk to him and talk about the things that that great organization that Ted Sizemore is the president of BAT.
Slowly hit up the line at first. Pujols has got it and tags out the runner.
That helps out all the baseball family. People falling on hard times, and you know, that even goes from secretaries and people in the front office work to scouts, players, and offers a lot of assistance to them and takes care of a lot of their needs. But let's hope the current players don't fall on hard times.
You know, Eric Schau, when I think of his name, I wouldn't think of all-time wins leader. I think Pete Rose, because he gave up hit number 4,192. Here is Blanks. I don't think there's any doubt that part of the game plan offensively for the Padres, just watching here early on, is to step out and try to slow up Carpenter. Saw that in the previous at bat. We saw Adrian Gonzalez do it against Carpenter.
Well, it seemed like the first two guys should have done that, but you don't want Carpenter dictating the pace because you're falling right into his trap.
Talked about that stance of the big man last night. He's seen 3 straight curveballs here from Carpenter.
Most guys get to the big leagues being able to hit the fastball, so he's on a little home run of late. And now we'll find out he's hit 9 home runs at 140 plus at bats.
2-2. Good late sinking action there.
Can he hit something other than the fastball or other than a hanging pitch? This guy is very intriguing, you know, he's so young and he's so big and strong.
2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. So that's 2 strikeouts here for Carpenter.
Big, strong guy, looks a little mechanical and gets up on that toe, but that breaking ball is still something he's trying to find. And a little bit off balance, but you don't want to throw a BP fastball to him.
Henry Blanco, the catcher.
I know you miss your kids.
Do I ever?
And I miss my grandkids.
And we'll be home when we get back. The Cardinals on Tuesday night will play Houston, and that starts 18 of the next 24 at Busch Stadium. So that next homestand is 9 games, which will carry us into September. And the Cardinals will face Houston, Washington, and Milwaukee. 2-0 pitch. In the air to right center, over to get it, Kobe Rasmus. Jim Hayes will join us when we come back. We'll have an update on Kyle Loesch. It's 3-0 St. Louis. Big 12 football returns to Fox Sports Midwest in September, but we're getting ready for football now with an early look at the Missouri Tigers. Missouri football preview special airs tomorrow at 4:30. 4:30 tomorrow on Fox Sports Midwest. And the Cardinals are back to the top of the lineup here in the third. It'll be Schumacher, Ryan, and Pujols. Had a lot of fun with Jim able to join us in the third innings of these games, and that's slicing foul.
Wait a minute, I want to welcome Jimmy.
I'm getting a standing ovation from Al Roboski.
That's nice, Al. What's the occasion?
I enjoy when Jim Hayes comes to the booth too.
It's nice. It's appreciated. A little
over
weird.
the top.
Yeah.
It's a little uncomfortable, Al. Left field, and oh, what a play! What a catch! The left fielder, Kyle Blanks, comes up with a terrific play to rob Skip Schumacher.
It's a big guy. His natural position is first base. We've seen him play a little right field, but last 2 nights he's been out left. And you make plays like this and you can hit home runs, you can make a lot of money in this game playing in the big leagues. Very nice. The umpires made sure that he did not trap that ball. Watch it where it goes into the palm of his hand, but his hands are so big he still can hold on to it.
Boy, what a play.
It ended up there in the palm, but.
And here is Brendan Ryan. All right, Jim. First things first. We said there's news with Kyle Loesch. Number one, he is on the DL, and you had a chance to speak with him.
Yeah, he has the groin injury, and he said he's so disappointed. Words can't describe it. Obviously, he's been through a lot this year. And he said with all the injuries and the illness that he went through, everything's happened. It hasn't been on the mound, and that's the frustrating part. He said for the time being, they're telling him treatment and rest, and that's what he's going to do. He said if there is a silver lining, it's not his arm, and that's the good news.
And it wasn't as serious as they thought, correct?
Yeah, but they want to be sure that he's okay, so they put him on the DL, and they're going to give him some time.
Into center field, Gwynn is there, out number 2. And so the logical question is, who replaces him?
Well, Boggs was en route. I'm not sure if he got here before the game, but he's already on the roster. And what they're going to do with the rotation, still a question mark. We know Smoltz will go. Then we know it's going to be Wayne after the off day, Wainwright, Pinheiro, and Carpenter. And after that, Tony said he's going to wait to see how everything goes.
Here is Pujols with 2 outs. And Albert fights it off with a base hit into right, and it brings in Holiday, who was homered tonight. Albert on for the second time. You're right. I mean, it is, Al, been so disappointing. I mean, Kyle Loesch coming off a huge year, signs the extension, and yet he's been on the DL first time ever in his career now, twice this year, and it's not for anything that's happened on the mound.
Yeah, that's, first hit by a pitch, then fielding the ball and aggravated it. Even on his minor league rehab, hit a couple times.
He had the flu mixed in
there. Bug and now a groin injury. But
remember that ball by at first base too. He tweaked his knee, I guess, at one time.
Covering first base.
But you do have the luxury of making sure he has adequate time, doesn't have to rush him back, and when he comes back, he'll have to make a decision.
And make no mistake, Loesch wanted another shot at it. He said he was hoping they'd give him a day or two, see if it would be feeling any better, and then decide whether or not to put him on the DL. But the Cardinals wanted to be very careful with him, so they went ahead and DL'd him.
And you talked to Todd Wellemeyer last night. For fans that weren't tuned into the ballgame last night, he's trying to make progress here.
He'll have his first side session on Tuesday when the team gets back to St. Louis. He's been throwing, but nothing off a mound or anything like that. And he says there's progress with the elbow.
Holiday may beat it out. He does. Safe. First and second with 2 outs as Eckstein couldn't get to it. And Eckstein was cheating towards second, it looked like, and off the end of the bat. Now Holiday has hit a 3-run homer and an infield base hit.
You see how deep he is, and watch this ball. What throws you off is the big vicious swing, and it's almost like a bunt that you get by the pitcher, And a long run for David. Tries to do everything he can to shovel pass it over to first. But Holiday, one thing you can say about him, when he leaves the batter's box, he's always hustling. And he's gotten a whole bunch of infield singles since he's been wearing the Cardinal uniform.
Pretty good speed, too, Al, for a big man. So here's Ludwig, who grounded out to short. One of the things we wanted to talk about with Jim was the middle of the lineup not producing. But here tonight, Pujols is on base twice, Holiday on twice, and now a chance for Ludwig here to do some damage. Al told you the Cardinals hitting under 200 as a team on this road trip, so the middle of the lineup needs to pick it up.
Good illustration of how this Cardinal team and the new additions has made Tony La Russa pretty happy. I asked him what was going on with the guys in the middle of the order. Didn't get mad, but he did say recently, last couple games, they've hit some balls hard, and he said you're not going to score 10 runs every game, so he's not worried.
Ludwig high in the air, out to deep right center, on the track win, and he's got it. So the Cardinals strand two, their first two of the night. Jim is with us. An update on John Smoltz when we come back. 3-0 Cardinals, bottom of the third. If you're traveling and can't catch the Cardinals TV broadcast, catch all the action on your computer at MLB.tv. Find out more at STLCardinals.com. So John Smoltz gets the start tomorrow, Al.
I was gonna throw one thing about he was talking about how Tony hasn't been too displeased with the middle of his order. I think it also has something. He's been very pleased the way the Dodgers have taken care of business with the Cubs.
And as he points out, 3-2 on the road trip, pretty good.
Isn't it interesting how he always tells anybody that wants to listen, well, we just need to worry about what we do. But then the other night he said, well, we lose, they lose. Wait a minute. You were watching the Cubs too, and he says, "Hey, it's another game off the schedule." And he says, "I do pay attention once we get into the final couple of months."
Now, if it's an afternoon game for the Cubs, he says he can't watch because he gets too wrapped up in it.
Here's a 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball from Carpenter. That's his third strikeout.
When Carpenter takes the mound, everybody expects him to excel, to pitch a wonderful ball game. It relaxes the offense. They've been one better and giving him the 3-run lead before he took the mound. And with the Cubs already on the loss column, it's just a wonderful opportunity to pick up a game in the standings, and everybody's much aware of that.
Here's Correa, the pitcher for the Padres. This is on the outside corner, 1-1. So John Smoltz, Jim, going tomorrow, and John Mozeliak is here on the trip.
Yeah, John is here, and I took the opportunity to ask him a couple of questions about picking up Smoltz.
As Schumacher makes the play.
I said, well, if there was anything that was a deciding factor for you, because obviously he's weighing the pros and the cons, and he said he had a bit of a concern about the back end of the rotation. And then you consider what happened to Kyle Loesch last night. The importance of tomorrow's start for John Smoltz becomes even more so.
I want to throw this disclaimer out there, and not that John needs.
You already said on the air that you didn't want him in the starting rotation, as I recall.
Yes, I did, because I sit there and I say, hey, the incentive is you're coming to a winning ball club. You're a released player right now. You've got a chance to be part of a championship. But after talking with him, and it's most important, and what he said in the press conference to you is he's saying, hey, if you expected me from the first day to go out and be this difference maker, it's not going to happen. I need a couple games to get my arm strength back, to get back into a groove. I think I've come up with this mechanical flaw, and then I think, and to a man, everyone said that saw him pitch the other day, say he can help you. But with this cushion the Cardinals have, the lead they have the opportunity to get him right, and then make that determination. And in my estimation, ends up in the bullpen.
But with the fifth spot a little bit up in the air, and now the injury to Loesch, I think it becomes a little bit more urgent for Smoltz to have a good start.
No problem. I'm really talking about.
Oh, what a play by Brendan Ryan! Remarkable play by the Cardinals shortstop. Let's hope he didn't hurt himself. My goodness, what a play from number 13. Family and friends here in attendance, and he comes up with a remarkable play. It's short, 3-0. Well, guys, he has come up with some great plays this year and showed off that range, and that's one of the better ones we've seen all season long, Al, from Brendan Ryan. What a play.
Well, you can see a little abrasion on his chin, the right side of his chin, and his neck snapped there. His wrist was back, but we were getting that discussion, and then he rudely interrupted us with that sensational play.
He certainly did. We'll take that every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought he hurt his wrist initially.
I thought maybe it was his neck, but you saw that he has a slight abrasion on the other side of his chin. But because of what happened with Loesch and because of still searching for the fifth spot, I think you can put Loesch deeper. You know, instead of maybe evaluating him on 2 starts, you can go him deeper, and then eventually, you know, he will find Smoltz will find his home in that 8th inning setup role.
Count of 1-2 here on Colby Rasmus. He flied out his first time up, and he hits it into deep right center field. Gwynn Beck looks up, and goodbye. Home run for Colby Rasmus over the beach in right center field and into the bleachers. Colby with number 13 and his 41st RBI. Long home run, and it's 4-0 Cardinals.
And the great series in St. Louis, capped, you know, 500, 7 for 14, and capped off with the game winner, a walk-off home run on Sunday.
And Al, they were calling for this pitch up right there, and it's in his wheelhouse.
And it looked like a breaking ball, but unless that was, you know, a sinker that really didn't sink. But why would you want a sinker up?
That's right.
But it had a little wrinkle in it, or it had a little movement downward.
So 2 home runs for the Cardinals and a 4-0 lead. Here's Mark DeRosa. He singled first time up. Well, Brendan Ryan, great play, and he liked this as well.
He has a ball playing.
It's fun to watch.
Jim, and there's a shot into right field, base hit for DeRosa. You talked to Mo, and one of the things I know that you asked him is, what else is out there? Anything else you can do to tweak the club?
He said you never close the door on anything, but based on what the team is doing and where they're at in the season and what's out there, he said he expects that the team you see is the team you're going to get.
I don't know what else he could do. I mean, you know, the Cardinals were asking for help the right side of the bullpen. Well, they went out and got John Smoltz, which, as you guys just touched upon a moment ago, eventually he could wind up in the bullpen. And he's been very good against right-handed hitters this year. Here's Yadier Molina, who lined into a double play his first time up.
It's funny when you see a guy come to a new team. Sometimes in the clubhouse there's a little isolation, but Smoltz looks like he's been in that Cardinal clubhouse for a couple of years.
It seemed like that with DeRosa too. Holiday fit right in. Lugo.
Happens when people have respect for the guy, the newcomer coming in.
I would assume that the conversations now with the management team of the Cardinals, a couple things. What do you do with your call-ups? And then at this point, let's face it, you got to start looking at DeRosa and Holiday and seeing whether or not you want them to come back, which I'm sure that they do, and reaching out to their representatives and saying, what are you thinking? Let's get in the ballpark, and here's where we're at. Where are you at? And maybe start a little dialogue going back and forth.
The best way this team can sell those newcomers on coming back is continuing to win. Players like winning.
2-0 pitch. Slowly hit to third. Can they turn 2? Well, just across the diamond. Well, in case you missed it just moments ago, let's take a look at this terrific play made by the Cardinals shortstop Brendan Ryan.
Going out there just a little lazy, and then on the outfield grass, there you see how his neck gets turned, face sliding on the grass, and comes up a little bit sore, but apparently okay.
He's sore tomorrow.
Great play, yeah. You remember, oh yeah.
That hurt.
How about if I tell you this shocker? Cincinnati now is in last place. Pittsburgh has passed them.
And to think where they might be if Albert Pujols doesn't hit that grand slam that night. I'm not saying that that's the difference in their season, but it very well could have been a turning point one way or another. Remember, they were in contention and looking at the Cardinals and saying that was one of their biggest series of the year. David Weathers comes in. Hoffpauir has the big walk against Rhodes. Weathers comes in, and Albert hits that dramatic grand slam. Again, I'm not saying that that's make or break in their season, but I think if you look at points to where you turn, that's got to be one of them.
We talk about when you win a pennant, you can look back at certain games and say that's where you launched your winning streak. So why wouldn't it work in the other way?
That's right.
You know, when Albert comes up in clutch situations, you expect that he's going to come through, but that at bat against Weathers, based on the career numbers against Weathers, you kind of knew what was going to happen. Everyone knew how that was going to end.
That was a big at bat, certainly, and the one in New York, the grand slam in New York, was a big one too. So it's not like he's hit these in the third inning. I mean, these have come at crucial spots in the game, as Schumacher last time up was robbed, and he's also struck out.
You know it's coming, but yet you go, no, it can't happen.
Right.
You know, they aren't going to give him a pitch. You know, Weathers knows the history between them. He's not going to give him a pitch that he can drive.
And we talked about it, Al, that maybe looking at the numbers, do you just walk him? I mean, just walk in a run. Dusty had seen that before with Barry Bonds. That's got to be tough for Walt Jocketty right now to be watching the Cardinals doing what they're doing and some of the trades they pulled off, and then to see what's happening with his club. That cannot be easy.
Weathers is such a good guy, and I asked him the day after if we could ask him about that at bat. He wanted no part of it.
And he is very much a stand-up guy, too.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I was surprised with that answer.
Well, the Cubs, and kind of to think along what you're doing here, Al, is that Houston is now, I believe, only a game back of Chicago. There's a base hit into left. Jose will wave him in. The throw to the plate, not in time. Schumacher on his way to second, and he is safe. It's 5-0 Cardinals. Martarosa scores the 5th run. And Schumacher picks up RBI number 32.
Well, the base hit out to left. You see O'Kindle, he's going to challenge every outfielder in the National League. So it's a base hit, RBI, and then Schumacher goes to second on the throw. Misses the cutoff man, and that's the difference of being out or safe at second base.
Ooh, pretty close.
Second base umpire was right there, and he held his call to make sure that he held on to the bag.
Brendan Ryan fouls it back. I know these guys enjoy, the California natives enjoy getting back to the state and playing in Dodger Stadium and here in San Diego.
Weather's pretty good.
Weather's great, but sometimes it's also good to get away because of all the requests and different things that come along with being from this area. And all of a sudden, all you have to do is worry about baseball when you get back to St. Louis or another city.
Brendan was besieged by requests for tickets with friends, family in L.A., and it's continued, he said, in San Diego. Aunts, uncles, friends.
He turned off his voicemail. One pitch to Brendan. Taken low. 2 balls and a strike.
I can remember a lot of the visiting teams would come out to the West Coast and used to make it stop, all 3
San Francisco
National League cities, and this was before cell phones, where guys would just pull the plug on their hotel phones.
Sure. Why not? I mean, this is their business. This is how they make a living. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs and a runner at second.
That would explain why Al didn't answer when I was trying to get a hold of him today to see if he wanted to go to lunch.
Well, I had a cell phone, and it
Went
said
right
the
to
cat.
voicemail.
It said the cat.
Went right to voicemail.
Not true, Jimmy.
A 2-2 pitch. And a liner to short. Right at his counterpart, Cabrera. Last 15 minutes have been fun for the Cardinals, doing a little bit of everything here tonight. The play by Brendan Ryan. And then Colby would go deep for the Cardinals. This made it 4-0. Brendan loved that. Then the RBI by Schumacher. 5-0 St. Louis midway through 4. Underway here in the bottom of the 4th, and a strike to David Eckstein. Eckstein grounded back to Carpenter his first time up. The 0-1 pitch to the former Cardinal. Fooled him a bit as he backed up, and it's strike two, and Carpenter out looks sharp tonight.
He always looks sharp. Just going up there attacking the hitter. That was a little cut fastball there. There's another one. So when you try to finish him off with, start on the outside corner, trying to get it to break away. But of course, we all know Eckstein and his ability to at least get a piece of something.
1-2.
Second most difficult batter to strike out in the National League.
Watch out.
Curveball got away from him, went over the head of Eckstein. He didn't have very far to duck.
You're a little tough on Eckstein, Al.
All right, he's one of our favorites. Pull the bat back. You've seen that, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Guy not pulled the bat down and goes off him and a little cheap out.
Turns into a little bunt.
And they're not running.
No, they're not. They're not expecting it. And that fan caught the ball, brought his glove, and has a souvenir. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Eckstein, Gonzalez, and Headley. Off the glove of Carpenter, and a base hit.
First hit of the game.
Missed out on obtaining your brick paver at Busch Stadium. Now for a very limited time, you can purchase a brick paver in one of the 3 additional greatest moment sections outside of Busch Stadium. With each paver purchased, you'll receive a free replica paver. Order yours today at STLCardinals.com. Quantities are very limited, so don't delay.
First Padres hit of the game.
And here's Gonzalez. Cardinals lead it 5-0 here in the 4th inning. If he lets it go, and the instinct obviously is to get it, I think maybe Schumacher gets to that, or even Ryan.
Yeah, there's no doubt one of those will get to it, but
can they make the play?
Really wasn't hit that hard, and I think Carpenter just kind of kicking himself for he not making the play himself. Got a piece of it, slowed it up, and but I don't think there's any doubt. I think it would have been an out recorded by the middle infielder.
Here comes a 1-0 pitch to Gonzalez. Walked his first time up, and he hammers one into deep right field. It should stay in the ballpark as Ludwig backs up right in front of the track to make the catch. Eckstein back to first. Everything just seems to be falling in place for the Cardinals. The health of Carpenter, the additions that they have made, and the schedule. As you see the pitch count at 47, the Cardinals will enjoy another off day on Monday. And this is when, ideally, if you played pretty decent baseball, which the Cardinals have, this is when you want them. You know, end of the season like this, and you gear up for that stretch run.
We want to enjoy them and play enough games to where you stay competitive. You know, you just, it's like once the Cardinals got through that difficult early schedule, they were in pretty good shape. But there are times you really thought it was unfair to have. You know, you played what, 14 straight ball games, then you had an off day, and you had another almost 14 games.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Thad, Trent, Ryan, Buckman from Palmyra, Missouri are here. I want to say hi to family and friends. Carl Hahn is here as well. And a double play ball. Schumacher, Brendan Ryan onto first, double play. 4-6-3 on the double play. It's time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Just east of the Gaslamp Quarter here in San Diego. We're at Petco Park, and this is Albert Pujols. Pujols walked and scored in the first and singled in the third. In the fifth, 5-0 Cardinals. It's Pujols here, then Holiday and Ryan Ludwig. Holiday with a 3-run homer, and Pujols takes a strike. Home run by Colby Rasmus, and the other RBI to Skip Schumacher. 1-1 the count on the game's best slugger, Albert Pujols. The next one to him. Breaking ball that time. It froze Albert. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Correa is set, and here comes a 1-2 to Pujols. And a swing and a miss, and Pujols strikes out for the 2nd consecutive night. Second strikeout for this right-hander.
He's got good stuff. Fastball just spots it very well away, but watch the front foot, because so many times we just see him pick up the heel and put it down, but we've noticed not so much on that swing, but a couple swings previous that he was really pulling off the pitches a little more than usual.
And Matt Holliday. That pitch was on the outer half too, so he pulled off it just a little bit. Holliday's 2 for 2 with a 3-run homer and a single that was an infield single back in the 3rd. His home run to right center. Tremendous power for the slugger. Another breaking ball taken up and away.
You kind of wonder, you know, and Holliday is 2 for 2, but Albert and Holliday, whether they're seeing the ball as well as they were in previous times in the year.
2-0 pitch to Matt. And a ground ball hit to 3rd. Taken by Headley for the 2nd out. Whether it's the Cardinals game or practice, stay cool and hydrated wherever you go this summer with a reusable water bottle from Ritz. Make sure to purchase tickets for Friday, August 28th against the Nationals. 25,000 fans receive a Cardinals Ritz water bottle. Friday, August 28th. Nationals are in town, the first of 3 against the St. Louis Cardinals. And that's also a half-price night. Terrace or Pavilion reserved seats. Half price, that means a family of 4 can come to the ballpark for $30. Think about that. Family of 4, $30 Friday night.
Cheaper than going to the movie.
You bet. 2 outs and nobody on, and here's the 0-1 pitch to Ryan Ludwig in the dirt. I think the favorite part about this ballpark for me is that Western Metal Supply Company building that they've
incorporated.
Yeah, that they've brought into the ballpark, and has suites there and seating on the deck. The team store, the restaurant in there, dates back to 1909. That's Andy, and he's up there. Hello, Andy, and that's his shot right there. He's been able to follow a few of those home runs from his camera view. 1-2 pitch to Ludwig. And I like it because I know that a lot of the newer ballparks try to make some of the quirks stand out, but this one is done with, I don't know if I'm going to say class, but it incorporates something of the city and the tradition of the city from this point in this area.
Yeah, I mean, rehabbing that building and incorporating it into a party suites and part of the fabric of the stadium is unique.
I know Pujols, I guess it was last year or maybe the year before, put one into the middle seating of the Western Metal Supply Company building over there.
And I think it was Andy that had that great camera shot as he followed that ball coming towards him.
2-2 here on Ludwig. Ooh, a little bit low. The deepest part of the park is 401 in left center, and the shortest part is down the right field line. It's 322. The Petco box over there.
Right towards center, the ball comes in a little bit, and then you can see how you have to in and out there through the Petco porch.
High pop fly into center. Gwynn is there and puts it away. Cardinals go in order here in the 5th. Carpenter back to work. Will Venable, Kyle Blanks, and Henry Blanco for the Padres underway here in their half of the 5th. Now, depending on whose count you trust, the Cardinals tonight have the opportunity to become the 4th Major League franchise to reach 10,000 wins. Now, the franchise does not formally recognize the St. Louis Browns and Brown Stockings, those teams from 1882 to 1891, as part of their history, because they were not members of the National League. However, if those teams are included, the Cardinals are at 9999, dating back to 1882. Now, this organization, the St. Louis Cardinals, formerly designate 1892 as their founding date. But if you go back, like I said, to before that, it could be win number 10,000 tonight.
Now, I know the Cardinals recognize 1892 because they had in 92 they had their 100-year celebration.
Right.
We'll talk about a gentleman that's not quite 100 years old, but some of the things that he has accomplished come close to that. A real philanthropic individual in our community.
And here's a ground ball for Brendan Ryan, and out at first. Just got him by a step, if that. Baseball tonight on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by the Casino Queen Hotel and Casino, home of the loosest slots. And who might this individual be?
Well, Johnny Londoff Sr. turns 85 on Monday, and of course everybody knows Mr. Londoff from Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. He will be celebrating his 85th birthday and his 65th year in the automotive business. And through the years, Johnny Londoff Sr. has been responsible for raising millions of dollars for children's charities through his Variety Club Telethon and the St. Louis Children's Hospital. So happy birthday, Johnny, and boy, what a tribute he is to our community, and thank you so much.
No doubt. Happy birthday. 2 balls, no strikes here on Kyle Blanks, who struck out his first time up. 3-0. Blanks here, and then Blanco on deck. Carpenter's allowed just 1 base hit by David Eckstein in the 4th, and a ball that was hit up the middle off the glove of Carpenter, and it wound up being an infield hit. He has walked 1 man. That was Gonzalez back in the 1st, and he has struck out 3 tonight. 3-1 pitch. 3-2. Three-two pitch. Off the end of the bat and a line drive foul. Happy birthday to Andy and Danny Bethman. They are watching tonight and taking in Cardinals baseball. And he lost him. So it went to 3-0, then to 3-2, and a walk to the big man Blanks.
Second walk allowed by Carpenter. He doesn't walk many, he doesn't give up many home runs, and has a 5-0 lead, but he doesn't want to concede anything.
Here's Henry Blanco. You know, we talk so much about what the acquisition of Holiday has done for the Cardinals and DeRosa, Lugo, Smoltz, but it certainly has probably had another effect on the other teams in this division, where, like the Cardinals experienced last year, you know, they didn't go out and do anything, and people were saying go out and get some help from the left side for the bullpen. They didn't do it. Cardinals at the very end fell out of the race. It can have really a different effect on the opposing teams.
A negative effect on the opposing teams, and they feel like they have been betrayed by their front office. But I find it creates a built-in excuse.
Because you still have to go out and play the games.
That's right. And when teams start making excuses, they start losing more games than they win.
1-2 the count. The Cardinals acquired Holiday on July 24th, about a week before the trade deadline. Curveball, little hanger, but pulled foul by Blanco.
Blanco now 38 years of age, and he knows about some of the elite pitchers as he's kind of bounced around and been able to catch a bunch of them, including Atlanta Braves staff. Been over there in Houston with some of those good pitchers. Been around a long time and wants to play several more years.
1-2. A little bit low. It's kind of pitch there you can take low for the ball, the borderline strike, or you get him to reach for it and get your ground ball.
If they hit it, you know, they usually pound it in the dirt too.
2-2 pitch. Nasty. That's 4 tonight. So 4 strikeouts tonight for Carpenter, and some of those other teams, this is what they've done since the acquisition of Matt Holliday. Chicago 12-15, Houston under 500, Milwaukee under 500, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, all of them combined 49-82 since the trade has been made.
And the Cardinals have the best record in the major leagues since they acquired Matt Holliday.
Swing and a miss by Everett Cabrera, who struck out his first time up. Pretty amazing, isn't it, to see those records?
Oh yeah, and remember what we're talking about though. This offense hasn't gelled as much as you might think with the winning record. It's been the starting pitching.
It tails away, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals about hit the Padres 8-1. They lead it 5-0 in the Padres half of the 5th.
You look at since that time what Carpenter, Wainwright, and Piniero's record is, and you'll find why the team has won.
I'm not sure, Al, there's a better 3 out there right now.
It would be hard pressed to find 3.
You always talk about Carpenter, Wainwright, but then you add in Piniero, who's in the top 10 in ERA and going deeper into games than we saw a year ago. And if you're the Phillies, you're saying, well, you got Cliff Lee and you've got some other guys that have been good. You've got Lincecum and Kane, and Carpenter carves up Cabrera. Back-to-back strikeouts, 5 on the night. Colby is homered tonight. He'll lead it off when we come back. 5-0 St. Louis here in the top of the 6th. And let's go to this date in history. Back in 1982 in a famous play in Cardinals history. Glenn Brummer, 2 outs, 2 strikes. What do you think? You think this pitch is a strike?
2 outs in the 9th inning, the bottom of the 9th, with the score tied, and the umpire forgot to call the pitch. He got so excited, and he just ruled whether Brummer was safe or out. If he calls him out, you know, or strike 3, the game goes on to extra innings.
See that Randy Jones barbecue.
Yep, Randy Jones.
His number has been retired here, number 35. Dave Winfield's number 31. Tony Gwynn 19, Steve Garvey 6, and of course Jackie Robinson.
Saw Freddie Lynn tonight. Rollie Fingers played for the Padres. Who didn't Gaylord Perry play for?
2-1 on Colby Rasmus.
Gaylord used to wear that uniform in the old timers games where he had about 8 patches on the left side of the front breast and 7 or 8 on the other side.
Played for everybody.
Just about.
The Padres consider, arguably, when you talk to their fan base, and they've done votes on this, they say that '98 was probably the greatest year in their franchise history, and that's when they went to the World Series, and then they got beat up by the Yankees that year. Mr. Padre is Mr. Tony Gwynn. 2-2. Full count on Colby.
Just off the plate there, but out of the strike zone. So Colby with new life. I think the Padres, they were voting for the Rookie of the Year. They may think it's Colby Rasmus.
And Colby hits another one in the air to center. Gwynn is there and makes the catch.
It's at 3 to center, but one of them went over the wall.
Of course, he had the walk-off home run Sunday at Busch Stadium.
And he was 7 for 14 in that series.
And overall, whether you're a Padre or not, you're going to look at some of the numbers, and Colby Rasmus will be in that discussion for Rookie of the Year. But you've made a valid point. The fact is, as far as everyday players, I'm not sure you're going to say he is an everyday player, because in many ways he's platooning. Out to center again, and Gwynn is there to make the catch. It's not like you're seeing him get a consistent 4 bats every night.
Yes, and I think that hurts him. He's now, I think, second in home runs and RBIs amongst National League rookies, but the fact that he's not playing every day, I think, you take points away from him. And some of the young pitchers are prominent in that rookie ballot.
And Molina off the glove of the pitcher. Yachty still hustling, and he is safe. So base hit for Molina. Infield hit, and at least they'll get Carpenter through the lineup.
Like the hit Eckstein, if the pitcher does not block this ball, I'm sure Cabrera gets it, the shortstop. But when he deflected it, Cabrera comes in and really had no play.
Looking over in the American League, Joe Mauer comes into play tonight at 378. Carpenter, little bloop into right, drops in for a hit.
Using his hands to perfection.
So Hal McRae was onto something, huh? Back-to-back hits. The Cardinals and the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services and Fox Sports Midwest have joined together to encourage young people not to smoke, because once you start, it's hard to stop. Strike out tobacco so we can all breathe easier. Call the Missouri Tobacco Quit line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW. I mean, think about that. You're right around September, and Joe Mauer hitting 380. Not too shabby. The leader in the National League is Hanley Ramirez, and it's going to be awfully tough for Albert to hit for that triple crown. He's at 317 at the start of play, and Ramirez at 360.
Albert doesn't even have the RBIs right now. He's second National League in RBIs.
Prince Fielder at 110. Albert at 105, and Pujols with 39 homers. And how about the year Mark Reynolds has had for Arizona? He's at 38.
Big difference between Mark Reynolds and Pujols in strikeouts.
Absolutely. So Correa has a visit with his catcher here, Blanco, and gave up the infield base hit off his glove to Molina. Little bloop by Carpenter, and now dealing with the top of the lineup. Long year here for Bud Black. And they have one lefty in their bullpen. That's Thatcher. He's getting loose. Indiana State product. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Skip Schumacher. Foul tip.
They were trying to pick off Molina as Cabrera, the shortstop, as the pitch was being made, he was slipping in back behind Molina, going to second base, and watch the catcher. As you see here right there, Blanco was ready to throw, and they would have had Molina easily, but fouled off the pitch.
Misses on the outside corner, 3-1. Skip tonight is struck out. He was robbed in a fine play by their left fielder Blanks. That was in the third, and has an RBI single in the fourth. And a walk, so the base is loaded now for Brendan Ryan. Correa, his second walk he's issued tonight. He's also struck out too.
He's got the left-hander warming up, but there's no left-handers until you get down to Rasmus. That's 4 or 5 spots away. So is he going to bring in the left-hander now, face Brendan Ryan? Appears so.
So this will be our call to the bullpen. Joe Thatcher coming in for the Padres to face Brendan Ryan. A 5-0 lead for the Cardinals. Well, tune in tomorrow, and I'm sure it'll be well watched on Channel 5 and the Cardinals TV network as John Smoltz makes his debut tomorrow at 2:30 on KSTK and the Cardinals Television Network with Jay Randolph and Rick Horton. What's on Tap is brought to you by Bud Light. Can't wait to watch John Smoltz tomorrow. So Thatcher, the lefty, in with the bases loaded.
Still trying to figure out this move by Bud Black as Thatcher, right-hand batters are hitting .288 against him. Lefty's .167. Only the lone left-hander, and yet he finds himself in here with the bases loaded. There are 2 outs, but looming on deck is Pujols.
And the first pitch is strike 2, Brendan Ryan. There's the numbers on Thatcher. 33rd appearance. We've seen him in this series. It was Charlie Hager today for the Dodgers, the knuckleballer. That's strike 2. He was very good against the Cubs.
He was very good against the Cardinals.
Sure was. Matt Kemp had a 449-foot home run. That was the difference in the game. 2-0 as they beat Chicago. So the win tonight, the Cardinals go to 8 in front. Cubs had second and third, nobody out in the 8th, and Joe Torre went with Jonathan Broxton in the 8th and then George Sherrill in the 9th. Luxury he's got with having a couple guys that have closing experience.
Right.
Well, we saw a grand slam in game 1 of this series off the bat of Brendan Ryan. And he hits it to first. Gonzalez there to the bag and beats him. Bottom of the 6th rolls in. It's all Cardinals. 5-0. The beach beyond the wall in right center, and Cardinals baseball tonight brought to you by AT&T. Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. The Chrysler summer clearance is here. Get to your Chrysler dealer today for some of the best deals of the season. Having some fun out there tonight. The Cardinals having some fun in this ball game. They lead it 5-0 as the bottom of the 6th rolls in.
Luis Rodriguez will pinch hit for Thatcher and hit off Carpenter.
Rodriguez, a switch hitter. And a fly ball hit out to left. Matt Holliday over and makes the catch. The final line on Correa, 5 2/3, 10 hits, 5 runs. They all were earned. He walked 2, struck out 2, and gave up 2 home runs. It adds up to a 5-0 Cardinal lead. Tony Gwynn. Came to San Diego in exchange for Jody Garrett. Been up and down with the Brewers, and now here he is with San Diego.
One of 3 players in Major League history to play for the team on which his father played 2,000 games or more.
Little liner into center. Colby there. Pitch in for Healthy Smiles with Delta Dental and the Cardinals. Purchase a $2 raffle ticket for a chance to win an autographed baseball by Albert Pujols and join the Smiles League. The proceeds benefit local charities that help kids have healthy smiles. For information and to buy your tickets, please go to smilesleague.com.
One of the great things about the Pujols Foundation is every other year they take eye doctors and dentists to go out and help in those remote areas, give them some health care that they otherwise would never have.
And of course, a lot of the money and time is devoted to Down syndrome in St. Louis and across the country, and basically the other half to the impoverished families in the Dominican Republic. 0-2 pitch to David Eckstein. Eckstein is swinging a miss, and the Padres are made quick work of by Carpenter. He struck out 6 tonight. Albert's due up first. Game recap is presented by Infinity, and the story tonight, the pitching of Chris Carpenter. He's allowed 1 base hit. The Cardinals about hit the Padres 10-1, and they lead this ball game 5-0. Got things going early on. 3-run homer by Matt Holliday. Colby would go deep with a solo shot of his own. And Skip Schumacher also picked up an RBI to account for the 5 runs for Tony La Russa here this evening. Padres fan can't bear to watch it, so he'll read the Union Tribune. Luis Perdomo, our call to the bullpen, presented by Chevrolet. Third pitcher used by Bud Black tonight.
Right-handers only batting 174 against him. Lefties 290. He's had an ERA of 4 in the 13 games since his return from the DL on June 26th.
And the first pitch is fouled back.
And he just looked like a wiry Dominican. They just look like they got all arms and legs. Just fling the ball up there.
Pujols is 1 for 2 tonight with a walk. Good pitch as they paint the outside corner. Falls behind 0-2. We talked a lot about where Carpenter may wind up in that Cy Young Award race. Well, if he holds on tonight, he'll be tied with Wainwright and Marquis with 14 wins. And as we speak, he leads in ERA in the National League, near the Cardinal bullpen and out of play. So he could be the leader in wins, ERA, and extend his winning streak to 9.
You want to bet against him, would you?
Not at all. We've still got a ways to go. No balls, 2 strikes on Pujols. Holliday on deck, and then Ludwig, and a swing and a miss by Albert. Second time he has struck out tonight.
This kid was playing off waivers like an Abel against from San Francisco. Sometimes, you know, when you're trying to go for it, you just don't have the patience at a club like Pittsburgh. He was the Rule 5 guy that went to Pittsburgh, or excuse me, went to San Francisco, and then, you know, they put him on waivers and everything. Just a lot of people wondered why this guy wasn't available when there was an extra 40-man roster spot. Didn't stick with San Francisco, and they put him on waivers, and San Diego wisely claimed it.
2-0 pitch. Holliday taps it. 2 balls and a strike.
Guy's got a live arm, doesn't he?
Sure does. And like you said, kind of whips it up there. A lot of arm and leg coming at you.
Yeah, you see a lot of the Dominicans or Latin players do that, and you know, they just really never hurt their arms.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they play so much as little kids, as opposed to what we see now with a lot of kids that are playing other sports. And it seems like the Latin American players, many of them grow up playing baseball every day.
Don't have Nintendo, don't have the, you know, don't have the television sets, and so they entertain themselves on the baseball diamonds.
3-1 pitch in the dirt to Holliday.
Best.
Cardinal fans, when it comes to tickets, you deserve Major League service. Go online and get to StubHub. It's the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals.
The best comments I ever heard of a young position player from Latin America is, you know, they talked about, you know, how Latin hitters don't walk much, and he said that you don't walk off the island. You got to hit your way
right
off the island. So they're all very aggressive that way.
I saw Vladimir Guerrero the other night with a curveball.
Bounced.
It bounced, and he hit it off the hop and picked up a base hit.
And I'll guarantee you that's not the first time he's done that.
I think he did it when he was with Montreal against the Cardinals, if memory serves correct.
I think you're right.
You talk about a guy that'll swing at anything, but he also hits for power and he hits for average, sprays it.
Been a great player and notorious bad ball hitter.
Let's see if the Cardinals can't get Ludwig going here. He's grounded out to short twice. He has flied out to center. He was out the other day taking early BP with Hal McRae and the Cardinals.
You know he's not going to ever stop working hard.
2 balls and no strikes.
Has to be a bit frustrating for Ludwig after the tremendous season he had a year ago. Breakthrough year, not to find himself in the lineup every single day.
From his perspective, going through his mind, and I'm not sure, I'm not going to speak for him, but I'm just saying, if you look at the year he had, you're thinking, I've got to be an everyday player. It's all-star, silver slugger, hit nearly 40 home runs.
And I think we're both in agreement that we agreed the same way, don't we?
Yeah, and Ludwig is the last guy that'll say anything. He just shows up and works and doesn't question anybody about it.
I think inside is probably eating them up.
2-2. And I would assume too, when you're not playing every day and you're trying to stay on track or get back on track, it's tough to do.
That's what I would think. And you look at his production, 18 home runs, 74 RBIs. I mean, those numbers are very, very good.
1 out, runner at second, the 2-2. Up the middle, Cabrera spins and throws offline. Nice play by Gonzalez to make sure it didn't get away. That saves a run. It's a base hit for Ludwig. And also Cabrera, with his range to his left, saved a run.
Absolutely right. Just almost makes a careless throw after making a great stop. But his first baseman saves him right there. Come off the bag. A lot of times people, I won't say stubborn, but they're trying to make the miraculous play, and they'd be better off to just vacate the bag, go out there and make sure they stop that ball and save an error, or in this case, save an error and a run score.
Here's Colby Rasmus, 400 against the Padres this year. 1 out, runners at the corners. Stop there by Blanco. $38,156 here tonight. 38156. Top of the 7th, 1 out. 5-0 Cardinals. Colby with a solo homer back in the 4th. His 13th this year. 2 balls and no strikes.
His father was drafted by California 1986 in the 10th round. Colby drafted by St. Louis 05 in the 1st round. His brother Corey drafted by Atlanta in the 15th round.
And right now, this right-hander struggling to find the zone. Not a bad view. 2 balls and no strikes on Colby Rasmus. Runners at first and third. Here it comes. That's in out of play. We were talking before how you would compare this team to 2004 when the Cardinals made it to the World Series and they picked up Larry Walker late. I think with the 1-2 punch of what you see here with Carpenter and Wainwright and add Pinheiro, this team pitching wise might be better. Offensively, I'm not so sure, but pitching wise, you can make a case.
As good as this team is, it hasn't won 105 games like that team did.
And I'll say this, though, to counter your point, what if this team was together from day one like that?
That's true, too.
And
I think it's remarkable. And, of course, this team has had a major transformation, and all on the plus side. But this is pretty remarkable that this team held together with the parts that it had and had the record before it got the reinforcements.
Moving Skip Schumacher to second base. You still had the constant of Pujols. Brendan Ryan now has emerged as your everyday shortstop. You didn't think that when you first had the season going. You thought you were going to get Troy Gloss back, and now you have DeRosa there. And that will be a walk to Colby Rasmus, so bases loaded. You had Duncan in left. You've added Matt Holliday. Rasmus has emerged as a very good young player, and now you've got Ludwig in right. So, and Molina has been a constant behind the plate, but in 04 he was sharing time with Mike Matheny at that time. So bases loaded, 1 out. Chance here for DeRosa, who has singled twice, scored a run, has also flied out to center. Perdomo has walked 2 this inning, and DeRosa pops it up. Going out, X9 infield fly called, and that's out number 2. Advance at your own risk.
And Perdomo, talked about it, Rule 5 guy, but put on waivers and gets picked up by San Diego. They aren't going any place, and they can have the patience with a player that is rushed to the big leagues.
And you always talk about it's times like this where you find out about guys too.
Oh, sure. You don't learn a lot about an individual if he just goes right through the order. But can he pitch out of a jam of his own making? That's where the learning curve gets accelerated.
Outside to Molina. Yachty tonight with a single, lined into a double play and grounded out to third.
Things are going well, everybody looks good, but how do you handle defeat? How do you handle adversity?
1-0 pitch to Molina. Misses on the outside corner, so 2 balls and no strikes. And our gun at the top left portion of your screen had 99 on that last pitch. And his career with the bases loaded, still looking for that first grand slam, and he's 1 for 11 this year. 254 hitter in this spot. And the count now, 2 balls, no strikes. Ooh, he was ready for it.
Good cut right there, but it's part of pitching too. How can you get a predictable count and you keep that hitter from centering the pitch?
Big gap into left center field. They shade him the opposite way. The 2-1. Molina to Eckstein. He'll flip to second, and they just got him. Rasmus almost beat it out. So Perdomo out of the jam. It stays 5-0. 5-0. The Cardinals lead it in the bottom of the 7th here in San Diego. Let's go pitch by pitch with the bases loaded here with Molina and Perdomo, brought to you by Chevrolet.
Set up outside, made a little cutter out there, and a fastball outside. Fouls off the pitch. Another fastball and ground ball second. I thought Kobe had beat it out. It was very, very close.
Very close indeed. So Carpenter tossing a 1-hitter here tonight. Bottom of the 7th. And he'll get Gonzalez, who he's walked and also got to fly out to right. And Headley and Venable. 3, 4, and 5. And he flips a curveball in there for a strike at 72 miles an hour. And then he comes back, and that was painted on the outside corner with movement with a mid-90s fastball. That's pretty tough. That's ripped into right and dropping for a base hit in front of Ludwig. So a leadoff base hit and only the second hit allowed by Carpenter. It's kind of a devious laugh you had there, Al, when I brought up the painting with the curveball and the movement with a mid-90s fastball.
You like watching guys that know how to compete and make guys look silly. Line drive, and very few balls go into the outfield, and Ludwig thought about diving, but holds up and holds it to a single.
It's had 7 ground ball outs if you include the double play as part of that, and he has struck out 6 tonight. Headley 0 for 2. And a double play. Schumacher, Ryan, double play. How about that? How about that? Second time that Headley has grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. That's the other thing he can do too. Gives up the leadoff base hit, but eliminates it with the double play.
part of the equation. It has to be hit hard. Execute that double play, but it was tailor-made.
And Venable looks at a strike.
Need a ground ball, and he got it.
There are so many stories with this 2009 team that you can talk about, from the emergence of Brendan Ryan, the acquisitions, the way the team has played. Pujols, another MVP type year. I think, though, that you have to say at this point, the way the Carpenter's come back after so much time off, it was like he didn't even, miss a beat. You thought it might take him some time to come back and get a feel for it. Hasn't taken anything.
He felt good the entire time, and it was like another situation where it wasn't his arm.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Venable. 2-2. We saw earlier where the Padres were stepping out, calling time, trying to disrupt the rhythm of Carpenter, but that has not been the case now in the last couple of innings.
I think with so many young hitters, they're not comfortable, delaying like that too. So they just make easy prey and fall victim for an executioner like Carpenter.
A 3-2 pitch down the right field line, and that is fair. Off the wall, played perfectly by Ludwig. Fires into second base. He couldn't play it any better.
They were perfect, and Venable had a couple doubles last night. Picks up one here tonight. The first extra base hit for the Padres. Only their third hit, but two of them in this inning. Now you see how Ludwig just in there takes it off the side wall, and he went right back to that area along the Petco porch area and got the perfect carom. Looked like he'd practiced that a little bit.
Pitch number 93. And with Dave McKay, the Cardinals do.
Yeah, I was going to say that is something that you have to do on a daily basis, but particularly with a ballpark like this, with all these nooks and crannies, you've got to go out there and see how that ball will play and which way it caroms.
0-1 pitch to Blanks, who is seeing a lot of breaking balls.
And earlier this week, Blanks hit a inside the park home run against the Cubs on a ball that went off that side straightaway center. There's kind of an area where it jettisons back with the Padres bullpen and their gate, and hit it there and then kicked all the way towards right field. And he got it inside the Parker because the Cubs probably didn't know how to play that.
Now, if you're Tony La Russa, you're seeing a couple of hits this inning, approaching 100 pitches. In his last 7 starts, he's at least gone 7 in all those, mostly 8, a couple of 9. Carpenter is due up first in the 8th. How far do you want to extend him in this ball game?
I would have to think that you give serious concern that this was, even with the 5-0 lead, gets through 7 innings because he's leading off, and you want to keep him always sharp. You got an off day on Monday. You do have the day game tomorrow, but you've got some guys in that bullpen that can pitch tonight and still be ready tomorrow, as long as he gives you that 7 innings. One thing about Carpenter, he's a manager's dream. He's a tremendous competitor, but when a manager decides to take him out, he accepts it.
3-2, popped up and out of play.
He'll do his job until he's told it's time to rest.
Gonzalez started the inning with a base hit into right. He was erased on the double play off the bat of Headley. Double by Venable. And now Kyle Blanks, who was struck out and walked back in the 5th. Another 3-2 pitch. He walked him. So 3 walks issued by Carpenter tonight.
Yeah, now I guarantee you that he just goes 7 innings.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. So runners at first and second with 2 outs. This will be pitch number 100 here to Henry Blanco.
He had walked a total of 20 batters on the year coming into tonight, and 3 tonight.
Cabrera, the switch hitting shortstop, on deck. Nobody getting loose in the Cardinal bullpen. Cardinals trying to pick up win number 71.
It's the most walks he's had in a game this season.
1-0 pitch. Ooh, and he gets the call. 1-1. And a ground ball to Brendan Ryan. Underhands to Schumacher. And that sends us to the 8th. Great work again by Carpenter. It's 5-0. Well, the Cardinals lead it by the score of 5-0. They've out-hit San Diego 11-3, and that looks like it's going to be it for Chris Carpenter, as he is due up first and a pinch hitter at the on-deck circle. And this is our Hardy's Prime Cuts of the game. Matt Holliday, a 3-run homer, and Colby, a solo home run. And the Cardinals have themselves a 5-0 lead. So Carpenter will be pinch hit for by Rick Ankiel. And then we'll see Schumacher and Brendan Ryan against the righty Perdomo. So Carpenter, 3 hits allowed. He strikes out 6 and he walks 3. No runs allowed. His ERA will get even better than it already is. It came in at 2.27.
And that was the best in Major League Baseball.
And the first pitch at 95, up and away to Rick Ankiel. Cal McClellan, right-hander, getting loose for the Cardinals. ERA now down to 2.16. Best in baseball. Isn't that something? This day and age, 2.16. This deep into a season. 2-1 on Rick Ankiel.
Good rip right there by Rick. There's Rick. 2 for 7 in the series, 4 for 15 on the road trip, and has a 5-game hitting streak. There you see Kyle.
And here comes a 2-1 pitch. Hit in the air out to deep center. To the track, to the wall. The Cardinals have another home run. It's a long one off the bat of Rick Ankiel. Dead center field and over that 396 sign. His 10th of the season. And the Cardinals lead it 6-0.
Make a real difference. All of a sudden you get him swinging like he did a year ago, hitting the home runs on a more frequent basis. And you know, the Cardinals, this is their 6th run. And Rick reaches out and gets it dead center field and shows you his strength. Cardinals are 16-9 when he has an RBI. But
Rounder hit to short. Cabrera with it, and Schumacher is out at first. Tell you what, that's one of the longest home runs we've seen this year. 396, and that cleared it by plenty in dead center field.
let's see, probably 20 feet back to that wall at least.
Second career pinch hit home run for Rick Ankiel, and here is Brendan Ryan. Ryan has lined out, flied out, singled and scored, and he hits this one into deep left center field. And that will get down for extra bases. And the Cardinals shortstop on his way to second, now thinking 3. On his way to third. The throw not in time, and it's a triple for Brendan Ryan.
Second hit of the game. He leads the ball club in triples. And he's been swinging the bat much, much better. He's pushing 300 again. And he gets the fastball up in the zone, plugs that gap out the deepest part of the field, and with his speed, he has the play right in front of him, makes a decision. The throws to the outfield side. He slides to the infield side and has that triple with pretty much ease.
Well,
Pujols hit for the cycle this inning.
Yeah, Pujols has struck out twice last 2 plate appearances. And he's also singled and walked and scored in the 3-run homer by Holliday in the first.
Struck out He was the first batter that this pitcher faced, and he struck him out. Doubtful that he'll be able to do that again.
1 ball, 1 strike. So Carpenter 7 innings tonight, 3 hits, and no runs allowed.
Cardinals have out hit the Padres 13-3.
Pujols off the plate and chops it foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Romo, second inning of work, and control was a factor in the first inning as he stranded the bases loaded.
Pujols now in his last 3 at bats hitting from behind in the count. Here's a 1-2. Foul back.
There's nothing he can do wrong. I mean, he's so good, but you almost feel like you're nitpicking, trying to find little things, and you just wonder now that he's fallen behind in the RBI race. Is he trying to do too much?
Infield is drawn in for Pujols.
It's no more happy feet than we ever see him.
You mentioned he's a little bit more open than we've seen him too.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times you'll just kind of pivot on that front toe and then put the foot right back down, and it's a little opening up a little bit with it, a little stride there, just little things that we're not accustomed to seeing.
Usually he's just so quiet.
There's another strikeout, 3 in a row. Mark this date down, folks.
3 strikeouts in a row for Albert Pujols. Let's go back to Rick Ankiel's home run, and he came in as a pinch hitter for Carpenter. Went down to get it, and he crushed it. How far did it go? Take a look.
Oh, it's way over.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 430, 440.
Blake Hawksworth now up and throwing for the Cardinals. 2 outs. Matt Holliday. 1 ball, no strikes, and he got things going in the first with a 3-run homer, and that was his 6th home run of the season. Now watching Pujols here tonight, and he has struck out 3 times in a row. A decision for Tony La Russa tomorrow would be this. You've got the off day on Monday. And would you think about, you've already earned a split in the series, would you think about resting Pujols and get a 2-for-1 basically tomorrow?
I don't think there's any doubt you think about it. And if you ask Albert, he'll say no. But I think that's one of those times where Tony uses his wealth of knowledge and just said this is a good time to give him 2 days off. The rest tomorrow and the Monday scheduled day off. I think that'd be a good idea.
This is just the 9th time in his 9-year career where he struck out 3 times in a game. Okay. I wonder if he's ever done it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Holliday walks. So Matt Holliday on for the 4th time tonight. Pair of walks, infield hit, and a 3-run homer. And here's Ludwig. Ludwig had the infield hit in the 7th. He's also twice flied to center and grounded out to short.
Double switch. As Oscar Salazar is going out to left field.
We'll tell you about the right-hander in just a moment. 6-0 St. Louis. 6-0 St. Louis here in the top of the 8th with 2 outs. Some of the healthy meals that they have here in San Diego. And Ryan Webb, right-hander, into the ball game, and he is the son of former Major League pitcher Hank Webb. And righties have only hit .211 against him, but the lefties hitting .350. Only his 11th appearance of the season, and opponents overall at .282.
And last night's ball game.
So he will get Ludwig here. Runners at 1st and 2nd. Or rather, excuse me, 1st and 3rd.
It's the 9th inning, 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. Of course, the San Diego fans are all excited about Chula Vista. The neighboring communities here that won 15-0 over Kentucky in the Little League World Series.
Had it on the Jumbotron here prior to the game during batting practice. And here is Ludwig, who is 1 for 4. Infield single back in the 7th. 2 outs, runners at the corners for the Cardinals, trying to add to their 6-run lead. Give you some of the finals right now in baseball. The Angels over Toronto 7-3. We talked about the Dodgers. They beat the Cubs 2-0. Boston pounded the Yankees 14-1. Kevin Youkilis had 6 RBIs. Atlanta over Florida. Big game there for both those teams, 4-3. Houston over Arizona 4-2. The White Sox over Baltimore 4-1. Pittsburgh pounded Cincinnati 12-2. That was at home. It was Milwaukee over Washington 11-9. Cleveland beat Seattle 4-3. That was in 11. In 10, Tampa Bay over Texas. So that's a big loss for Texas and a big win for Tampa Bay. Both involved right now in the American League wild card. Minnesota over Kansas City 8-7. Phillies over the Mets 4-1. Fastball and then a strike. Colorado outlast San Francisco 14-11. And it was Oakland over Detroit 3-2. Now you're caught up.
Webb was acquired from Oakland on July the 5th. Exchanged for outfielder Scott Hairston.
2-2 pitch to Ludwig. Here it is. Base hit into right. 7-0 Cardinals. Ryan scores. And Ludwig 2 hits tonight to make it 7-0 here in the 8th. And he picks up his 75th RBI. So Brendan Ryan, after tripling, finally is driven in.
Puts this ball in on him and just shoots it to the right side. And with Gonzalez holding on the runner, Holiday at first base, he can't recover and goes for the RBI single.
So here we are on August 22nd, and Ludwig now with 75 driven in. Colby is homered tonight. He's also walked and twice flied to center. First pitch in on the hands, little breaking ball, and a swing and a miss. Rasmus with his home run, his 13th. He's now driven in 41.
Cardinals with a chance to get 4 guys with 100 RBIs this year. Albert's already there. Holiday, Ludwig, and DeRosa.
0-1 pitch in the dirt.
Good final 6 weeks or so. They could all get to the century mark.
And looking ahead to the bottom of this 8th inning, the Padres will send up the 8th place hitter Cabrera. You'll see 8, 9, and 1 as McClellan is just now standing on the mound in the bullpen and waiting. He'll be in relief of Carpenter, who's dropped his ERA to just over 2 to lead everybody in the major leagues. 2 balls and a strike. There's a look at the St. Louisan, Kyle McClellan.
How about Carpenter could tie Wainwright for National League lead with 14 wins.
A 2-1 pitch and a good rip, but fouled back by Colby Rasmus. So the Cardinals picked up 3 runs in the first on a Matt Holliday 3-run homer, 2 in the 4th, and 2 more here in the 8th. They have out-hit the Padres 14-3. Rick Ankiel with one of the longest home runs we've seen this year into center field over that 396 sign in dead center. And the Cardinals with 3 home runs tonight.
3 home runs for the Cardinals to the 3 hits for the Padres. It's a good combination.
Ryan Webb steps off, and now he's set to get his sign with a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on and 2 out. 7-0 for the first place Cardinals. In the dirt. And the Cardinals, if they could hold on and win tonight, they would move to 8 games in front of the Chicago Cubs, where it was nip and tuck. It seemed like 5-6 weeks ago. The Cardinals then would have the largest lead of any division leader. They would have the biggest lead in baseball if they can hold on tonight.
It wasn't that long ago where the Cardinals were trailing. They were in 2nd place in the National League Central.
Runners go on to 3-2. It's hit in the air. And this should be caught, and it is. Another big inning for the Cardinals as they add to their lead. Carpenter, magnificent again. It's 7-0. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. By Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Lock in $1.49 a gallon for a year's worth of gas. Visit your St. Louis Hyundai dealers today. And by Ameristar. More casino, more fun. Crowd of 38,156 tonight here at Petco Park in San Diego.
And you said more fun. And boy, isn't it fun to come to the ballpark. Fun to go on the road, watch these guys play.
The players get to the ballpark, some of them around 12:30 in the afternoon for the 7:05 first pitch. As you see the numbers there on McClellan, 51st appearance.
And you will find as the pennant race deepens, guys will even have a tendency to come earlier and earlier. Can't wait to get to the ballpark.
And tomorrow the Cardinals have John Smoltz on the mound, third among active pitchers with 3,044 strikeouts, 212 wins. That's fifth best. Only pitcher with 200+ wins and 100+ saves. And you think about postseason play, John Smoltz, 15 playoff wins. Arguably one of the greatest postseason pitchers baseball has ever seen.
No doubt about that. And future Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer. And just a wonderful individual, just tremendous athlete. He can do a lot of things to help himself and has to win a ball game with his bat, his glove, his mind, and a lot of those resources the Cardinals are going to tap into.
And a fastball swung on and missed, and a strikeout for Cal McClellan in relief of Carpenter tonight. And it brings in Salazar. Rick Ankiel, by the way, stays in the game. He's in right field. And Ludwig is out. So 7-0 Cardinals, and this is Oscar Salazar. Now McClellan really had an up and down spring, but this isn't his rookie year. And thank goodness it wasn't, because if it was, who knows if he makes the team. But he had a track record and pitched very well a year ago, and he's been just fine this year.
That's it. You know, last year's rookie of the year, and you give him the benefit of the doubt. He was experimenting on some things. It wasn't working. He went back to his old method of pitching, and the results are much like last season. But one difference this year is he has not been overextended. He hasn't really had a period where he was overused. And when he has his rest, he's highly effective.
1-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed by Salazar.
Let's see, what was he batting? 240, but watch this swing. But he was under control. He was well balanced.
So 2 outs, and here's Tony Gwynn. We were wondering if Albert Pujols had struck out 3 times consecutively. Now he struck out 3 times consecutively here tonight. Keith O'Brien, we put him hard at work. It has happened before.
It's hard to believe, though.
Twice his rookie year, again at 08, and then tonight. Ground ball, and there's Albert to McClellan. And Gwynn retired. That sends us to the 9th, and the Cardinals lead it. It's 7-0 here at Petco Park in San Diego.
Seven-zip Cardinals as we go to the 9th in San Diego. Coming up after the game on the post-game edition of U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. Pat Paris is with Jack Clark tonight. Chris Carpenter's Cy Young credentials. We'll take a look at that. The champagne is chilling. They'll be celebrating Cardinal win number 10,000, whether the organization recognizes it or not. And of course, we'll have post-game reaction straight from the Cardinal clubhouse. All that and more coming up. For now, it's back to Dan and Al.
Here's Thurston, and he's a pinch hitter now for Mark DeRosa. Well, any reason to break out the champagne? Why not?
Well, you know, you gotta practice. You know, they're hopeful there'll be 3 more celebrations after that 10,000 win.
And, well, you had division.
Well, he's got 3.
I'm thinking 4. Wrap up the regular season. Then the division series, championship series, and World Series.
Well, remember that Tony is like, hey, this is old hat. We haven't done anything. So the division, the National League.
Liner out to left, and the catch made on the run. Good play.
And the World Championship. So, but it could be an extra one if you fail the test on 10,000.
Brings in Yadier Molina with 1 out. And Molina has lined into a double play, grounded out to third, singled, and hit into a fielder's choice. 1 out here in the top of the 9th, and the Cardinals leading by 7. Second inning of work for this right-hander for the Padres. Liner and caught by the former World Series MVP David Eckstein, who was with the Cardinals in 06. And there's 2 away, and Molina has hit into a couple of tough outs.
A little easier to absorb those tough outs when you're leading by 7.
Here's Rick Ankiel with 2 outs. Solo home run back in the 8th off the bench as he pinch hit for Chris Carpenter. Breaking ball and a foul ball.
You may find this hard to believe, Dan, but you always tell a hitter, hey, they even out. They don't believe it. But they never consider those little choppers or little flares and quails that fall in. They only remember the line drives they hit hard that are caught.
And an 0-1 pitch. Sliced out of play and foul. So the Cardinals with John Smoltz going tomorrow will look to hopefully take 3 of 4 if they can get the final 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th.
And Dennis Reyes is warming up to take over in the 9th. Good work by Kyle McClellan.
It could turn out to be a heck of a trip for the Cardinals after taking 2 of 3 against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, and then the potential of winning this series, a 4-game set against the Padres. You talk to most players, they really don't like the 4 games. Most people will tell you they like the 3-game series, but we get a 4-game set here against San Diego.
Elevate this pitch.
And I could tell you, Al, if you're going to have 4 games in a city, I'll take San Diego.
Yes. But creatures of habit, and they're accustomed to 3 days. That 4th day gets awful long.
Ankiel 1 for 2 at the homer, and Dennis Reyes, the lefty, coming in. Our player of the game tonight, Chris Carpenter, our Budweiser player of the game. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs. He struck out 6 and walked 3. Again, he was masterful here tonight. The Cardinals will try to get the final 3 outs with Dennis Reyes. This will be his 58th appearance. And he is hitting, or rather the opponent's hitting .264 against him as we roll to the bottom of the 9th. And you may not realize it, but Dennis Reyes has been pitching a long time. He was signed by the Dodgers as an undrafted free agent back in 1993. And at the time when he made his debut in 1997, he was 20. And the only player that was younger than him at the time was Andruw Jones of the Atlanta Braves. Traded by the Dodgers along with Paul Konerko to Cincinnati for Jeff Shaw. Spent 3.5 seasons with the Reds, and then he became a journeyman. He was with the Rockies, the Rangers, the Pirates, Diamondbacks, the Royals. Pitched here in San Diego. And he was in Minnesota, and now he's got a 2-year contract under his belt with the Cardinals. And that pitch is lifted into center, backing up Rasmus. He'll backtrack and makes the catch.
Well, what is it, Dan? Left-handed and a heartbeat? And with a disclaimer, you have to have a breaking ball.
And he's got it.
He's playing first base now. Jason LaRue back behind the dish. And Thurston stays in the game to play third. And, you know, this is a good opportunity. You know, even though you're such a specialist, there are times when, you know, you'd like to have a full inning to kind of stretch out a little bit.
1 out, and here is Adrian Gonzalez. And so maybe this is that time.
Sure.
And Gonzalez tonight, the big bopper for the Padres, has walked. He is singled and also flied out to right.
Now we have to show our defensive alignment and look at our second baseman and shortstop playing about 10 yards deep on the outfield grass.
I'll be curious to see if Tony plays Albert Pujols tomorrow.
I think you brought up a very good point, and you know that I think if Tony just said, I'm going to do what I want to do, it's rest him. If you ask Albert, he's going to say, I want to play, but it probably would be a real good opportunity for Tony to overrule him.
0-2 pitch and a swing and a miss, gets through the rue. Chance to get him at first, fires, and Molina is on the receiving end. Normally he's the guy throwing. This time he's receiving over at first.
He does look comfortable over there, and some of the fans that come out to early batting practice may see Molina anywhere in the infield taking ground balls, and a lot of times that shortstop.
So the Cardinals now an out away from win number 71.
And an 8-game lead over the Cubs.
And that's lined out of play.
As you mentioned, Houston would remain 9 games back. Milwaukee beat Washington, so they would remain 9.5 back. Cincinnati now in the cellar of the Central Division as Pittsburgh leapfrogged over them with a 12-2 win of the Reds.
1 ball, 1 strike. This is Headley. Carpenter had his way with him. A little bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think one of the good things for John Smoltz is he's watching this Cardinals play, realize, hey, just let them hit the ball.
Good point.
You know, let them hit the ball, and this defense will track down balls in the outfield, and the infield defense is very good. You don't have to strike everybody out.
2-2 the count, and time called. Hit it to short. That guy's playing some pretty good D.
Well, I'm glad that after the first game where we saw Brendan Ryan get not only the grand slam but several nice defensive plays.
In the air down the right field line, and this game is extended. That's a fair ball near the Cardinal bullpen. And Chase Headley trots in with a stand-up double with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th.
I introduced Brendan Ryan to Dave Winfield and told him that this is the best defensive shortstop in the league, and he's hitting, you know, about 285. He's pushed it even better.
He's had quite a trip, hasn't he?
Yeah, he sure has. And Winfield said, "Oh, I'm going to start keeping an eye on him." And I'm sure Dave is thinking or getting an idea of how good Brendan Ryan has become.
Up to Venable to extend the game.
Venable this year has hit .320 with runners in scoring position with 2 outs. And these young players getting a lot of playing time now, and it's impressive.
3-0.
Reyes just wanted to give up that base hit so he could work on facing another left-handed batter.
You think so, huh?
I did until he walked him.
Now it's Kuzmanov with following the double, and now a walk with 2 outs. And you know the last thing that Tony La Russa wants to do is get somebody up and throwing. But he will take nothing to chance, as we have seen in his years in St. Louis, which began back in 1996.
Been a long time, but look at the success he's had in St. Louis. franchise leader in wins in St. Louis.
2 outs, 2 on.
Tony's led his team to 7 division titles, 2 National League pennants, and a 10th World Championship. And he's about on the verge to his 1,212th win, the most ever by a Cardinal manager.
0-1 pitch. One pitch. Kuzmanov in the air to center, and this will do it. The Cardinals win it 7-0. And depending on what you follow, it's win number 10,000. So Matt Holliday, a big night. Offense, defense. How about this play by Brendan Ryan? We'll talk about it. The postgame show is coming up.
Game is over with the Cardinals shutout of the Padres. Jack Clark and I ready to break it all down on Cardinals Live. Jack, you said last night it's all about starting pitching. In the loss last night, well, in a win, it's all about starting pitching.
Chris Carpenter was outstanding. You know, when you get him a few runs early in the game like that, pretty much turn out the lights, the party's over. And, you know, but we still have a party tonight here because we have to celebrate 10,000 wins.
Yeah, we definitely do. More on that coming up. Plus, the Cardinals, we're trying for their 10,000th win in franchise history again tonight. And the second time is the charm. Chris Carpenter on the mound, no doubt about this one. Just how good has the ace been this season? We'll go inside the numbers and we'll break it all down. Have a player reaction, Tony La Russa's comments as well. Happy birthday, Howie from the Backstreet Boys. Jack thinks he's dreamy, but I'm a big fan of Nick. We'll break it all down next on U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live.
Welcome to U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live.
Matt Holliday providing all the offense that Chris Carpenter would need. A first inning 3-run blast at Petco Park. Carp puts it on cruise control from there, and the Redbirds roll to the 7-0 shutout victory. And our countdown to 10,000 is complete. The Cardinals becoming the 4th franchise in baseball history with 10,000 wins. Baseball Reference recognizes 10,000 wins. The Cardinals organization does not. We do here at Cardinals Live. Why not? It's quite a milestone.
Absolutely.
Just the 4th team in Major League Baseball history with 10,000 wins. Only the Giants, Cubs, and Dodgers have more victories in their existence. Hello, everybody. Welcome inside our Fox Sports Midwest studio in St. Louis. It's the celebratory late-night edition of U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. Go ahead, Jack. Pop open the champagne. Boy, that went a long way. As we toast the success of the Cardinals organization, 10,000 wins now for this ball club. We're going to break down tonight's game as well. Talk about Chris Carpenter and
I had a couple
terrific job that he's
100
done.
games in that 10,000.
Yeah, you did. You're part of this.
Absolutely.
Congratulations. We'll go inside.
Congratulations to the Cardinals.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go inside the numbers. Take you back for Tony La Russa's thoughts. Go inside the Cardinal clubhouse as well. As we toast 10,000, you have to also toast Chris Carpenter, who moves into a tie for the Major League lead with 14 wins and also now has the Major League best 2.16 ERA.
Wow, I mean, that's something. It really, when you talk about that, what that really means, what he's done and what he's accomplished, what he continues to accomplish. I know he's pitching against the Padres here tonight, but I just think doesn't matter. He doesn't see who's in that batter's box. It doesn't matter to him. He makes his pitches. He puts on his game face. He wants to close out the deal. Another stretched out performance, 100 pitches going into the 7th, getting his team into the 8th with the lead, an easy game. He makes it easy for his team, get him a few runs, get him a few points, get him a few whatever, and he's ready to go. And he closes what he starts.
And he looks very impressive doing it tonight, as he's done during this now 9 straight wins for him when he gets the decision. Don't forget, Cardinal fans, it's U.S. Cellular text time. Text your questions for Jack or me to 432-432. Please include your first name, where you're texting from in that message. Standard text messaging rates do apply. We'll answer them a little later here on Cardinals Live. Right now, Let's head back to San Diego and Petco Park. Short time ago, our Jim Hayes catching up with Matt Holliday, our Mid-America Chevrolet Dealers Player of the Game. Jim?
A 3-run home run for Matt Holliday in this one, also on base 4 times. The home run gave you guys a 3-0 lead. That was plenty for Cardinal pitching. I want to ask you about Chris Carpenter. A lot of folks look at what he's been doing, and they can't believe it. Can you?
I can believe it. I faced him. I've seen Carp, facing him, but to play behind him, it's fun to watch. I mean, he's a bulldog, and he's got great stuff, and he knows how to pitch, and it's fun to watch.
Let's talk about your home run. First pitch you saw from Correa. Is that you just expecting something or looking for something?
I'm just looking for a fastball that I can handle when runners on base. You're looking to, hit something in the middle of the field. I've been trying to make sure my swing's nice and short, and I got it right, pretty much how I like it, and hit a line drive that had good backspin on it.
You're hitting over 400 since coming to the Cardinals. Right now, the Cards are 8 games up over the Cubs. Is this more than you expected when you came to St. Louis?
Well, I didn't really know what happened so fast. You don't really know what to expect, but it's been a lot of fun. I like this group of guys. It's a lot of fun to be part of this team, and we're playing really well, and our starting pitching has pitched so well and given us chances as offense to just score a few runs and then tack on and add on, and it's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Matt Holliday, let's go back to you, Pat.
Jim, thank you very much. We're going to go back to San Diego right now. From the field, we go up to the broadcast booth. Time for a view from the booth. Dan McLaughlin, Al Roboski rejoin us. Supposed to be a pitcher-friendly park at Petco. We saw a couple of real bombs tonight, though, from the Cardinal bats.
Well, the pitching on one side, it was pitcher-friendly when you talk about Carpenter. On the other side, though, Al, the 3 Cardinal home runs.
Well, we got some big boppers in the middle of the order, and it started with Holliday early in this ball game. Gets a little breaking ball, it's in the middle of the plate, and he crushed it. Same thing with Kobe Rasmus. The ball's in the middle of the plate. These guys don't miss it. And Keel, ball's down, but he's a low ball hitter. He gets those arms extended, and one of the longest home runs we've seen in a while at this new ballpark.
So a nice win tonight for the Cardinals as they've opened up a sizable lead, as Jim said there, with Matt Holliday. And our next telecast on Fox Sports Midwest will be Tuesday night. We'll come your way at 5:30 with the pregame show. Adam Wainwright will get that start. And Pat, let's send it back to you.
All right, guys, safe travels back. We'll see you on Tuesday. Let's show you the highlights from this one. It was a lot of fun game, a lot of fun in this game because it started off so well for Matt Holliday, our player of the game. It was the top of the first with 2 on, and this one is absolutely bombed to deep center. It lands beyond the sandbox over the center field wall. Redbirds up 3-0 on Holliday's 6 homers a card, 17th overall this season. Same score, bottom of the third. Tony Gwynn up with 2 outs.
Oh, what a play by Brendan Ryan. Remarkable play by the Cardinals shortstop.
Take another look. Wow, Brendan Ryan continues to impress at shortstop. A little shaken up, but he would be fine and stay in the game. Colby Rasmus leads off the top of the 4th, and he crushes one right in his wheelhouse. 445-foot blast for the rookie, second longest home run of his career so far, and the Cards go up 4-0. Later in the inning, Skip Schumacher up with Mark DeRosa on second. Skip hits a liner up the middle. DeRosa's waved in and scores easily. Skip's safe at second after the throw goes to the plate. 32nd RBI for him, 5-0 Cards. Bottom half of the inning, David Eckstein leads off, and he hits a little number back up the middle. It bounces off Carpenter's glove, and Eck is safe at first. It's the Padres' only hit through 6 innings, and that's because Carp absolutely filthy. 7 shutout innings, just 3 hits allowed while striking out 6. He lowers his ERA to a major league best 2.16. Rick Ankiel then pinch hits for Carpenter to lead off the 8th, and he promptly crushes the ball deep to center field. Number 10 on the season for Ankiel, 3rd homer of the game for the Cardinals in what I mentioned was supposed to be a pitcher-friendly park. They had another run following a Brendan Ryan triple in the 8th as well, and they go on to win by shutting out the Padres 7-0. They out-hit them 14-4 as well, and you look at the Cardinals now, who get a great game, obviously, from Chris Carpenter, and much more on that coming up in just a second. But you also look at a Cardinal team that's back to 17 games over 500. That equals their season high that they reached just a couple days ago. And now an 8-game lead in the division with the Cubs loss tonight. That is the largest lead they've held since the end of the 2005 season. Things are going very well right now, Jack. You have hiccups like you had certainly the last game where you just get out pitched, but almost night in and night out, this team is playing baseball that's fun to watch, and to a man, they say it's absolutely fun to be part of, a great role that the Cardinals are on.
Well, you know, they have a team that's built right now to go to the playoffs, go to the World Series, and you know that's you know, they are fun to watch right now. They don't have much competition in their division, and they're just taking care of business. You know, they're focusing on, you know, that one day at a time. I know that you hear that cliche all the time, but really they focus on that. And when they say they play a hard nine, they play about as hard a nine. Doesn't matter who that other opponent is. They take no prisoners, and they just keep pounding them into the ground. So again, it starts with the pitching. It's been their pitching all year, and you know they'll go deep into the playoffs in the World Series if, like anything else, they stay from here on out. They stay free of injuries. You know, they had a little hiccup yesterday with Kyle Loesch. Hopefully they get him back. But everybody who's, you know, come in to fill in has done a great job. McClellan has been outstanding all year long, and you know, there's no reason why it won't continue. We keep talking about every night, but everybody on that team is contributing every night, whether it's DeRosa, whether it's Holiday, whether it's Lugo, whether it's Schumacher, Brendan Ryan, outstanding play. When Brendan Ryan made that play tonight, Pat, I actually thought that he's going to throw a no-hitter tonight, because when the team behind you is willing to go ahead and throw their body out there and do that type of stuff, and you can't afford to lose Brendan Ryan, but you know, when you're out there playing, stuff happens, and you got to leave it all out there in the field. And right now the Cardinals are leaving it out there in the field, and the other team walking up field with their head down is the opponent every night.
He did have no-hit stuff tonight. You wonder if there was just so much sitting around and waiting because he was almost a victim of the Cardinals' offensive success tonight. He had to do a lot of waiting around, but it is Chris Carpenter, our Helitech king of the hill, and for very good reason. 10th straight quality start. Jackie extends his win streak to 9 straight winning decisions. And mentioned the 14 wins, now ties for the Major League lead, and that ERA down to 2.16. Things are going very well right now for what arguably is the best pitcher in baseball at this very moment.
And everybody's, you know, you don't want to face this guy, but at the same time, everybody's always happy for somebody who's coming off an injury and had to sit out as long as he's had to. So, you know what? They've got him back. This is the reason why John Mozeliak went out and made those moves, and the DeWitts went ahead and gave him the opportunity to pull the trigger, because you have a healthy Chris Carpenter, and you haven't had him for a while. And what you got is always something special. And you got Albert doing an Albert year again, and Wainwright has filled in, like you know, you call him that 1-1A as your ace, and you know, wow, is it really good right now?
Yeah, and look at his National League rank since July 5th. His last 10 starts, he's 9-0. 75 innings pitched, the 1.92 ERA is second in the National League only to Adam Wainwright's 1.38, and his 58 Ks, not bad at 7th. The walks got a little bit higher tonight because he had 3, one of them a tight strike zone to Adrian Gonzalez, and I believe that the other 2 were both to Kyle Blanks, and you wonder if those weren't just kind of cautious pitching by Carpenter, and then resulting in a couple of walks. Other than those 3 walks, though, he really had sharp stuff and command of stuff. And as we head to our Don Brown deal of the game, we'll show you, Jack, it's the second inning at bat against Blanks, and the rookie who has been doing terrifically in this series and has really kind of come on in the second half of the season.
That's a good point.
Until he faced Chris Carpenter. You're going to see it, though. Kyle Blanks in this pitch-by-pitch on our Don Brown deal, and it's all the pitches of the at-bat, and, well, just nasty.
Yeah, I don't even know. He couldn't have hit that no matter what, even if it was a strike. So, you know, just, you know, there's a ball, you know, now you see it and then it slides off the plate. Look at that location. We're talking even last night about finishing pitches. Nobody finishes pitches better than Chris Carpenter. He repeats and he repeats, you know, pitches, and they're just nasty. You look where those pitches start, where they end up. That's finishing the pitch, and his release point is about as exact as a science as it could be. Pitch after pitch after pitch, you know. I mean, he is a pitching coach and a manager's dream. You know, you don't have to coach him. You just can't wait to see his turn come again in that rotation. And believe me, his teammates recognize that, because no matter what's going on, whether somebody has a little blip in the rotation, they lose a couple games, you know he's coming around again. And when he does, this is the kind of effort you're going to get from him again. So, you know, he's going to put a stop to anything, and you know, he's just fantastic. He's one of the best pitchers I've ever seen pitch consistently from performance to performance. You know, he just seems to come out and give you that same effort, and is just, you know, it's hard to say as good and as great as he's been. He gets better and better, and when he gets later in those later innings, man, he wants to finish like nobody else I've ever seen.
8-2 now is Chris Carpenter following a Cardinal loss. So he comes in, he stops anything. The losses are generally just one-game losing
No price
streaks
you can
right
put
now.
on that. That is so valuable.
That is invaluable. You're correct about that. U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live continues. We'll hear from Tony La Russa about this 7-0 shutout win coming up next.